All right, hello and welcome to Week 7 of the NAGA League. Today, Oklahoma City goes to Iowa to hopefully clinch a playoff spot, as well as Iowa hopes to beat the three-way tie. So, today we have quite the matchup today. Oklahoma City recently trading their running back Sturgill, who had an amazing game last week and helped them beat Austin. And in place, DeMarquez Clark will start with Kasim Garvin as the second running back. And of course, backup Robert Hudson as their third string. Iowa, meanwhile, will continue to run with their staunch defensive units. And of course, their hopeful offensive units. We'll go ahead and take a look at the expert picks today. Iowa has a 30% chance of winning based on 1,000 simulations, and absolutely no one is taking Iowa to win. Everybody except James has them losing, Iowa that is, in a massive blowout. James, however, believes that they will lose only by 11 points, which may seem like a blowout, but Joe has them shutting them out 38-0, Dave has them 34-14, and Danny has 34-19. So 11 points in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't seem like that much. Let's go ahead and head into the game. We're back at the train depot, the home of the NAGA League. What a massive crowd today. Iowa's fan base coming out, hoping, wishing upon a star that they can get this victory against Oklahoma City, who currently sits at the top of their division. Iowa will kick off, and OKC shall receive. Roar back. Kicks it off. Edwards, number 15, will return, taken down immediately around the 21-yard line. 1st and 10, 22. This Oklahoma City offense is going to be with a very, very loud crowd tonight, as we will go ahead and change the broadcast angle. Go! Gilligan, back to pass, throwing with blitzers in his face. Clark immediately catches. It's almost as if Sturgill never left. 2nd and 2. Iowa boasts a pretty strong defense, something that Austin also boasted last week. However, Austin also had a firepower offensive units. Iowa does not. Gilligan hands off to Clark and immediately taken down in the backfield. Goodness, loss of 4 by Galbraith. Galbraith is quite the talent. He's an elite inside linebacker, one of the top of the league, as Clark once again gets the pass, and he is taken down once again. This time by Rayleigh. As I am unable to pronounce that name. As once again, he is actually the 4th string defensive. Wow, that's incredible. 4th string defensive lineman talent-wise, but 1st string defensive tackle. That man came to play. Chandler. Taken down on the punt return. Iowa. The defensive line room for Iowa is pretty... However, Desmond Terry will carry that defensive unit if he needs to. Schroeder motions the man to the left. Schroeder back to pass. Probably going to dump it off. He does. Rogers gets the pass, and just like OKC... they're going to get a gain of 6+ yards. That's 2nd and 3rd of the 39. Now, while Iowa boasts a strong defense, Oklahoma City does not. Oklahoma City doesn't have much talent to speak of as Rogers gets the handoff, and he's stopped right before the first down. That'll be 3rd and 1, if not inches almost. Somehow they're saying it's a tackle for loss, though, but sure. There is Rogers on his first rush of the day for 7 yards. For 2 yards, apologies. He received for 7 yards. A Schroeder instantly taken down. The Iowa fan base is not happy about that. That is Westbrook, number 55. Yes, despite them not having as much high-end talent as Iowa, it doesn't matter. Because OKC, well, their defensive unit is really, really good, irregardless of the talent. Liz B taken down at a 26. It'll be 1st and 10. So Oklahoma City defense actually almost nearly shut out Austin, letting them score only 6 points until a final fatal 7 points This extra scored. Ooh, overthrown. Unfortunate. That was number 86, Jimmy Burrows. Their tight end that had quite the game yesterday. Ernie Gilligan started off 1 for 2 for 8 yards. Takes the ball, hands off to Clark. Clark speeding away. And he picks up a nice gain of about 6 yards. 3rd and 4. Marquez Clark, 3 rushes for -1 yards. That is quite the stat line. As Clark gets the ball again, sheds off a would-be tackler, and TFL. Unfortunate. Galbraith again, number 55. What a unit. That man is on a mission today. 0-0, no scores yet. We are 3 minutes in. Iowa gets the ball back. Chandler, number 35, goes to the right and taken down at about the 28. 1st and 10, Iowa. If I had to guess, I believe this will be a low-scoring game. I think Iowa's offense is just good enough to move the ball, but not good enough to score. Schroeder tosses it up to Rogers. He'll gain about 6 yards in the rush. 2nd and 4. Iowa doesn't have a particularly strong offense, but Oklahoma City lost Sturgill, and Sturgill was a very consistent player for them all year. Didn't have quite the stats, but that didn't matter. They were winning. Schroeder hands off to Rogers again. Evades a tackler. Ooh. Taken down for about a gain of 2. Anthony Palmer coming in for Darius Rogers. We are 11 minutes in. 0-0. Schroeder walking out. 3 wide receivers, 1 running back, and 1 tight end. Motions the wide receiver to the right. Scanning the defense. Hands it off to Palmer, and he gets the first down. Shuts off a tackler, and is taken down. About a gain of 5. Darius Rogers comes back in. Number 34. If I had to think of one key component for Iowa to win, I would say it's their defense. Schroeder hands the ball off, immediate TFL. I would say that in terms of offense, Iowa's not really known for scoring many points at all. However, they have the defensive talent, and that talent should, hopefully at some point, bail them out. Schroeder motions another man, comes across to the right, fakes the handoff, dumps it off to the running back anyways, Anthony Palmer. Quite the interesting technique, I suppose. With a wide receiver streaking down the field, I suppose you could also take the running back, but again, Schroeder's not exactly known for making bombastic plays. Motions the running back out. Empty backfield. Schroeder back to pass. Ooh. One could lobby for defensive pass interference, but they won't call it. It'll be 4th and 6. We are now almost 9.5 minutes left in the quarter. Still 0-0. We've had about 4 total first downs. This is definitely an Iowa game. That punt was sailing up to 22. 1st and 10 for OKC. Gilligan coming off a wonderful game last week. Hopefully looking to repeat that as he motions a wide receiver across. Hands the ball off to Clark. He's running into all sorts of traffic. He's taken down after a gain of 4. Clark has a couple things to bring to the table. He's got speed, and he's got quite the ability to run routes, but not as good as Sturgill's. Clark gets the ball again, sprints up forward. Ooh. Stopped short. That was a gain of 5. 3rd and 1. Sturgill was very, very helpful. However, without him, they're stuck with Clark. Not in a rude way, but it's unfortunate just how it is, as Sturgill was able to keep these teams in it. Go! Gilligan back to pass, full-on blitz, and Clark just doesn't snag it. Again, every player has their reason for being on a team, but if I'm Sturgill, that would have been caught. Okay, so he will line up for punt. Iowa will look to take on another offensive drive. No first downs, I believe. Chandler evades the tackler, going left and taken down at about the 32-yard line. That'll be 1st and 10, Iowa. 6.5 minutes in. Score still 0-0. Schroeder walks up to the line. Scans the defense. Pitches out to Rogers. Rogers with enough space, speed, and gets the first down and more. That looked to be about a gain of at least 15. 1st and 10. Apologies. A rush of 14 yards. Schroeder motions the fullback out. Tosses to Rogers. Rogers evades, and he's down for about a gain of 1. Anthony Palmer coming in for Darius Rogers. This Iowa offense loves to rotate their running backs, and so far it seems to be doing pretty well. Schroeder back to pass, dumps it off to Palmer, who gets about a gain of 3 yards. That'll be 3rd and 5. I would definitely love to see more deep shots taken by Schroeder. I think while you're throwing to the running backs is nice, you can't win by just dumping off the ball. Number 25 motioned out to the right. Schroeder back to pass, throwing it deep. There we go. Hernandez Jr. Amazing. Darius Rogers coming in for Anthony Palmer. Down at the 25. That'll be about a gain of 22. 23, apologies. Aaron Hernandez Jr. Schroeder to Rogers. Rogers running up, evading, and tackle. That'll be about a gain of 5 yards. 2nd and 5 at the 20. This will be the first time anyone all game, in about 9 minutes almost, has finally cracked the red zone. Schroeder back to pass, scanning, surveying. He's going to throw it to the line. Hernandez Jr. What a catch, however. That's 3rd and 1. May we finally see some points here. This will be interesting. It'd be the most Iowa thing to throw an interception or fumble the ball. Here we go. Motions the man out to the right. Schroeder back to pass. Oh my goodness. There's about 4 red flags there. 2 defenders just breaking through the line. Schroeder throwing off platform into double coverage. And the intended receiver not even knowing that the ball is coming. The kick is up and the kick is good. And almost 9 minutes in, we finally have a point. 3 points, in fact. A field goal. That last play was, if OKC just hit on one of those, it would have been a turnover. 2 defenders, that's an instant strip sack. As Edwards gets up to the 20. And 2 defenders deflecting the ball, that's got to be an interception. Oh, my goodness. That is quite the failure by the defense, but also quite the lucky miss by the offense. Clark gets the ball, immediately TFL'd. But he pushes forward for about a gain of 1. Gilligan back to pass. Throws the ball to Richardson. Richardson taken down for about a gain of, I want to say 7. Yes, gain of 7. 3rd and 2 at the 29. OKC looking for a first down. Gilligan, there is a flag down. Gilligan's going to launch it, and it's going to be dropped. But that is against the defense. Offsides 5 yards. That'll be an automatic first down for OKC. You can hear this crowd just absolutely pouring all their heart into this game. You really want Iowa to win and go to the playoffs. Gilligan motions a man. Hands it off to Clark. Clark running forward with all sorts of green. That is almost enough for a first down. 2nd and inches. OKC knocking on the door, finally crossing that 50-yard line. Marquez Clark, 8 rushes. Oh, Clark gets the ball. What a unique move. Gilligan stood still, tossed the ball behind his back to Clark, and they got a first down off of it. That is a good play call. 5 plays for 30 yards, 23 of them being rushes. Gilligan taking his time here today. Clark, snuffed out. And Garvin will come in for Clark. That'd be number 5. That was DJ Rice with the immediate tackle. Seems like he's picking up on what they're doing today. Runs up the middle. Oh, here we go. Garvin. He just runs up the middle again. They're not going to be contested. They're just going to keep running up the middle as Clark comes back in for Garvin. OKC finally getting across the 50-yard line. And may we see another 3 points scored today before the first quarter ends. Gilligan. Ooh, what? Seemed like some miscommunication there. An underthrow. The running back wasn't there. However, there was a wide receiver within range. And here we go. Fateful kick. Descant boots it. Ooh, not going to be enough. Left. Wide left. 53-yard is no good. That'll give Iowa really good starting position. Up at the 36-yard line. 3 minutes remaining. 1st and 10. Schroeder motions a man out. Schroeder back to pass. Surveying. Launching. Ooh. That was almost intercepted. If only he could have hauled it in. Ethan Simoneau, their star strong safety. Schroeder motions a man to the left. Surveying. Back to pass. Here comes the blitz from the right. Briggs catches it. A gain of 1. There is a flag. A face mask. It'll be 3rd and 4. Ooh. That is not something you want to see. Simoneau dropping the interception and then committing a face mask. Ooh. This crowd is definitely getting to this OKC defense. Schroeder motions the man. Surveying the defense. Tosses out to Rogers to the weak side of the defense. Not enough. It'll be 4th and 2. Pickett, number 50, on that stop. Not a tackle for loss, but if the league wants to consider it that, I suppose we'll go with that. Power with the punts, and that's going to... Well, Turner's not going to touch it. Ooh. Oh, my goodness. That will be 1st and 10 at the 1-yard line. This is Iowa football. Special teams and defense coming in clutch. Here we go. Gilligan. Motioning the tight end to the left. Here we go. Is it going to be a run? No, it's a pass. Oh, my goodness. He almost got sacked. And Burrows with the 1st down. That offensive line, my goodness, working overtime on that one. That defender had a straight shot for a safety. Gilligan back to pass. Going to throw it away. This pass rush of Iowa, really, really strong today. Gilligan has 2 backs in the backfield with him. He's going to fake the handoff. He's going to get sacked down for 5. And that will be DJ Rice. Number 5, outside linebacker. 5 tackles and 1 sack on the day. Not a bad stat line. This looks like they could prevent Oklahoma City from making a drive. Gilligan back to pass. No rushers. Triple coverage swatted down. 4th and 18. Punter inside their own end zone. Let's hope this doesn't get blocked. All the defenders are picked up. Number 35. Chandler back to catch and immediately taken down to the 49, maybe the 50. Yep, they'll give it to him at the 50. And Iowa starts with really good position today. My goodness. Schroeder motions the tight end out. Back to pass. No rush. 4-man defensive line going deep. Ooh. Intended for number 23. That'll be Romello Briggs. Unfortunate. 6 of 10 for 42 yards today for Tim Schroeder. Motions the wide receiver inside. Schroeder, ooh, fumbled handoff, but it's okay. Rogers connected. And about a gain of 12. 1st and 10 at the 39. That handoff, and Rogers is a bit slow to get up. 9 rushes for 44 yards, doing a pretty good job on the run today. As he takes the ball again, breaks a tackle. Ooh. Gain of 5, which should have been a loss of yards, turned into a positive. Here comes Iowa. Time of possession 40 seconds. Even rush. Oh no, I'm sorry. Not an even. It's simply rush yards today. 16 yards of rushing. Schroeder takes the ball, hurdles a man. But he doesn't get to the line. Tackle for loss. Augustine, 3rd and 4. Rogers comes back in. 25 seconds remain on the clock. The question is, will Iowa take a shot or will they simply run the ball in for a field goal? Motions the tight end to the right. And he's going to fake the handoff and throw it deep. Ooh, deflected. That was intended for number 87. Mr. John Gunter. And here we go. Another field goal. This is Iowa football. Kick is up, and it is almost not good, but that is a 50-yard field goal. My goodness. 6 points scored in about 15 minutes. We're witnessing peak 1950s football. And the kick is off, and Edwards will trot it out, if anything, for more, 20 yards. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. 3 seconds remain in the first quarter. I would say this would be about a pretty good time for a free timeout. First quarter giving you that time. I would go ahead and just chuck it deep. Gilligan motions the man. And he's going to do just that. Oh, my goodness. Burrows with the catch. Oh, no. Kevon Boyd, he bit. He bit, and he tried to come back to catch. He let Burrows just wide open. 4 for 10 for 61 yards. Gilligan not having a great day, but it doesn't matter when you have passes like that. Gilligan back to pass, outside blitzes. No dice. 2nd and 10. I will say it definitely helps that Austin has, or not Austin, but Iowa has incredible defenders on the defensive back side. Clark immediately TFL'd. 3rd and 16. Where Austin lacked last week against Oklahoma City's offense was that their defensive backs were not that great. Gilligan back to pass. Launches a deep one and incomplete. However, Iowa, as I have a voice crack, has 2 incredible defensive backs. More importantly, they're the cornerbacks, covering the top 2 options for Oklahoma City. As the punt is away, something that OKC didn't really do much of last week. It'll roll out of bounds at 13. This type of game is where you wish you had Sturgill to come in and assist you against these top-end defensive backs. Schroeder back to pass. No, he doesn't. He hands off for a delay, and Rogers, a 2nd and inches at the 22-yard line. I feel as if Iowa's in main control here. They are the ones with all the power right now. Although it may not seem like it with a 6-0 score, but OKC has done nothing to really cross any sort of the 50-yard line besides some lucky passes. Schroeder back to pass. He's going to launch it deep to a wide open. Oh. And that's their elite wide receiver, Taquan Fowler. On any other time, 9 times out of 10, that is a touchdown. You hate to see it. Nothing like Iowa football, folks. Team motion number 25 out. Schroeder, immediate pass to Clinton Smith. Nice. That'll get 1st and 10 at the 34. Schroeder back to pass, scanning, launching it deep. He doesn't get it. Unable to connect. Schroeder. Oh my goodness, just threw the ball into the face mask of Rogers. That is one way to get a completion, I suppose. 3rd and 2 with a gain of 8. 4 wide receivers, 1 running back. No tight ends. Motions the wide receiver inside. Schroeder back to pass, dumps it off. Incomplete. That will kill the drive as OKC has an injury. Not expected to return. That is defensive back number 2, Deontay Battle. That's unfortunate. Seems as though a weak defensive unit against this Iowa offense has already been depleted more. And again, another in the inches. This punter, my goodness, this special teams of Iowa has got to be the best in the league. Gilligan in his own end zone, quite literally. He's going to hand it off to Clark. No blitz. I'm shocked. He's taken down for a gain of 4. 2nd and 6 at the 4-yard line. I'm shocked. I'm really shocked Iowa just didn't full-on blitz there. Inches in their own goal line. They're going to run it. They're not going to pass it. Gilligan motions the man inside. Gilligan takes it himself, and he's tackled for about a gain of 1. 3rd and 5. Yeah, at this point, you really got to wonder, is there anything for Iowa to happen in this first half? You can look to the second half and re-galvanize there if you need, but this first half, Iowa's checking all the boxes right now. Gilligan hands it off, and Clark immediately tackled, and the punter will punt it from inside his own end zone. And that is Kavon Boyd, outside linebacker, number 51. And here we go. OKC in their own end zone, punts it away. Chandler crossing the 50 again. Taken down at the 40. Goodness. Iowa's just, they've had it go their way all day today. And unfortunately for OKC, Deontay Battle is actually their star cornerback. So missing your number 2 cornerback, that's going to hurt. Schroeder pitches it out to Rogers. At a gain of 1. Schroeder back to pass. There is a flag, though. He'll dump it off to Heflin, who will awkwardly walk out of bounds. Offsides against the defense. That'll be 1st and 10 from the OKC 24. Sorry, my bad. Wait, I'm pretty sure I read that correctly. Oh, well. Interesting. 3rd and 7. Whoa, what is going on here? Looks like someone's an OKC fan and Schroeder gets sacked. Oof. You hate to see it. Westbrook with the sack. The league will have to investigate the official of today's games. Although Iowa is home, there is no such thing as a home officials team. The punter punting it away. It's down instantly at the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 at the 14 for OKC. Vote. Ooh, taken down. Galbraith. TFL, 2nd and 11. Now, that was not a name I was expecting today, as Clark is back in for running back. Gilligan back to pass, toss it to Richardson, who gets about a gain of 3. That was their fullback, Matthew Vaught. And my goodness, I don't think I've seen that man play all year. Very glad he was able to show up in time for us. Gilligan motions the man to the right. Hands it off to Clark. Clark will rush up for the 1st down. Now, Iowa had all the momentum here. And thankfully this crowd has not stopped screaming and cheering all day. But that penalty definitely has something to do with it. Gilligan fakes the handoff, getting ready to wide open man Clark. And that is a touchdown. Wow. Broken coverage as he kneels down and gives thanks. My goodness. DeMarcus Clark. An 80-yard receiving touchdown, and the kick is good. Oh my goodness. Just when you thought Iowa had it all under control, a penalty that screws everything up allows OKC to put their foot back in the door. Fowler taking the ball, and he's taken down at around the 23-yard line. That'll be 1st and 10. This will be interesting. If OKC wins, this penalty could be looked at with heavy scrutiny for years to come. Schroeder motions the man inside, gets the ball, steps back, launches to Rogers, and Rogers will go on for about a gain of 7. 2nd and 3 at the 30-yard line. However, if Iowa wins, it'll be a testament to their team and their will, as it would be. Schroeder hands it off to Rogers, throws a man off, and he kind of hobbles towards a 3rd and 2. Anthony Palmer coming in for Rogers. I guess we'll see, ladies and gentlemen. This will be interesting. That call may have decided the game well before anyone knew it. Schroeder hands it off to Palmer, who easily gets the 1st down and is getting dogpiled forward to the 43. 1st and 10. Darius Rogers subbing back in for Anthony Palmer. Anthony Palmer on the day, 2 rushes, 17 yards, 2 catches for 8 yards. Schroeder motioning man inside. Hands the ball off once more to Rogers. That's about a gain of 4. That'd be 2nd and 5, actually. Gain of 5. Anthony Palmer subbing back in for Darius Rogers. Playing a bit of musical chairs here towards the middle of the 2nd half. Schroeder motions the man to the left. Back to pass. He's going to throw deep to number 81. Unable to catch it. That would be number 20 for the OKC defense. That'd be J.R. Lisenby, the punt return. No, sorry, the kickoff returner. Ooh. Unable. Iowa, 4th and 5. Lisenby, if I remember correctly, is the punt returner who had about 12 punt returns last week. He definitely had his hands full last week. Power boots this one. Ooh, too much. That might be frustration getting to him. I mean, it's fair, right? That call totally messed with the momentum. There's nothing you can do about it. You got to collect yourselves, though, and come back. Gilligan gets the snap. He's going to dump it off to Richardson, who's going to get a gain of 2, it seems. 2nd and 7, the big gain of 3. Slow to get back up. Well, for Iowa's sake, let's hope they don't crack under all this pressure. But that's okay. We've got about 2.5 more quarters left as Gilligan motions the man to the right. Takes the snap, hands it off to Clark. Clark's going to run forward for about a gain of 3. That'll be 3rd and 3. If I were Iowa, I would simply just stop the run again. You had 1 freak pass, and that's okay. But you can't let this run game get to you. The more they run at the clock, the less chance you have as Vaught taken down almost immediately by Kevon Boyd, TFL. Where Iowa's offense fails, Iowa's defense and special teams steps up. Here we go, Pelodzi with the kick. Chandler with the return. Runs straight into a defender at the 32-yard line. My goodness, what a choice. So that's not Pelodzi, I believe that is Pelodzi. My bad with the mispronunciation. Trips to the left, Schroeder. Hands the ball off to Rogers, who gets about a gain of 4. 2nd and 6 at the 36-yard line. Iowa still has everything in their control. OKC only got a touchdown off of a freak play and a break in coverage. If Iowa can go down and at least score 3 points, they'll be back in the seat. Schroeder. Ooh, unadvised. 3rd and 12. That'll be a sack. by Pickett, number 50, the outside linebacker. 2 plays for -2 yards. That is not something you want to see as Schroeder motions out the fullback. Gets back. Schroeder launching it deep to Fowler. Ooh, almost broke the tackle, but then the defender regained his feet and took him down. That is a massive gain for Iowa. 1st and 10 at OKC's 33. That'll be 37 yards of offense today. Rogers. Oh my goodness. Whoa. Now that was a Herculean effort. Herculean? Herculean. We'll figure that one out later. That's a Simsism. Schroeder. Scan the defense. Fakes the handoff. Major blitz coming. Oh, what a turnover. Augustine with the fumble recovery. Just when Iowa wanted to get back into control, OKC's defense shows why they destroyed Austin last week. Gilligan back up to the line, under center. Gilligan back to pass, gonna dump it off to Clark for a gain of 8. 2nd and 2 at the 42-yard line. 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. This OKC team has definitely got some spirit back in them after that penalty mishap. Gilligan motions the man out to the right. Gilligan tosses the ball to Clark, who sheds off a defender and immediately taken down, but that'll be a gain of 3. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. We'll say 2.5. How about that? Gilligan, Clark to his right, motions the man back inside. Hands off to Clark, who runs straight up the middle, taken down for about a gain of 6 yards. And a flag. That'll be a face mask. Oof. Andre Knowles. And I'm looking for him somewhere, anywhere on this defensive chart. He is the 2nd defensive tackle in the rotation, as Kasim Garvin takes the handoff for about a gain of 1. Not even. Never mind. That's 2nd and 10. And Kasim Garvin immediately comes back out for Clark, as you would expect from OKC, trying to capitalize on this momentum. 2nd and 10. Gilligan back to pass, but there's a major blitz and he's taken down. Kavon Boyd, ladies and gentlemen. Kavon Boyd. 3rd and 18 at the 48. 5 tackles, 1 sack. Not a bad day for Kavon Boyd. Gilligan back to pass again. Gonna launch it deep. Caught by Richardson. Oh my. And this is where OKC may start to heat up. Tayshaun Richardson is only their 3rd wide receiver on the depth chart, but boy oh boy has he come in clutch over the past 2 weeks. Gilligan back to pass. No rush. Easy day for him. Clark just can't hang on. That is something that'll be telling in this game. When OKC needs a catch from the backfield, can Clark give it to him? Brandon Gilligan, 50% today, 9 of 18 for 180 yards and 1 touchdown. Not a great day in the passing game. Gilligan pitches it out to Clark. Clark with all sorts of green taken down. It'll be 3rd and 2 at the 15. Inside the red zone. OKC with 8 plays, 39 total yards of offense, taking 2 minutes and 50 seconds off the clock. And that'll be the 2-minute warning. Here we are, folks. Within the 20, 3rd and 2. Can OKC get another down, or will they simply go up by 4? Gilligan back to pass. The blitz is coming. Wide open Richardson rushes in for inside the 10. 1st and goal, 7-yard line. Brandon Gilligan slowly building back up that percentage. Gilligan back to pass. No rush this time. Knight. Ooh, so close. 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line. Had Knight just dived for it, I think he could have gotten it. Gilligan surveying. Gonna motion Clark out. Empty backfield. This is interesting. Blitz coming. He's gonna throw it off his back foot. Caught. Clark, touchdown. OKC now up 13-6. Will be 14, barring the field goal. Visconti up, and it is good. Mr. Automatic. OKC is now up by 8 points. Iowa's definitely going to have to do something to come back before the second half ends. Without their number 2 wide defensive back, you would think Iowa would look to their wide receivers to help them out here. Iowa does have an elite wide receiver in Daquan Fowler. They've just not targeted him yet. In fact, Fowler taking the return, rushing all the way up. Back to the 27-yard line. First and 10, 1 minute, 27 seconds remaining. If I'm Iowa, I pass it. You have talent. You have 3 talented wide receivers. You need to give them the ball. Schroeder motions the man out under the line of center. Under the center, I should say. Schroeder back to pass. It's an... Ooh, that is an ill-advised catch. That's going to be a major TFL. Ooh, 2nd and 15. Lisenby, number 20. Showing up and showing out today. 4 tackles, it seems, making up for a little bit of earlier. Schroeder motions the man out. Schroeder back to pass. He's looking, surveying. Almost picked off. It'll be 3rd and 15 for Iowa. Schroeder motions the man out. Under center. Pitches it out to Rogers. Rogers only able to gain about 8 yards. It'll be 4th and 7. And OKC calls a timeout. I'm shocked. OKC really wants to take the momentum away from this scrappy dogfight. I applaud it. Power with the punt. Lisenby back to catch. And he's taken down immediately at the 30-yard line. 1st and 10. In fact, not at the 30, but the 31-yard line. Gilligan under center, motions a man inside. Back to pass, blitz coming in heavy from Iowa. And Knight taken down for about a gain of 4. 2nd and 7. Oh no, they'll say he actually walked backwards. 2nd and 7. Iowa doing well not to call timeouts, but OKC on the other hand, they should be calling timeouts. If you're going to call a timeout to stop Iowa's momentum and the punt, then you should be calling timeouts when you catch the ball in bounds. But I suppose OKC knows what they're doing. After all, they did beat Austin. Clark evades the man. Up past the first down. OKC will promptly call a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. If I had to believe in any play call being called right now, I would have to assume it's a Hail Mary. Gilligan motions the man for 3 wide receivers on the left. Go! He's going to back to pass. He's surveying. And that's an interception by Smith. Ooh, not enough time, though. Not enough time. He should have just gone down. That'll do it for the first half. Iowa will receive the ball. OKC scoring 14 points in the second quarter, with Iowa only scoring 6. This Iowa fan base just rocking as Visconti boots it. Fowler back to return. 3 men, 4 men. No one wanted to block those guys, it looks like. Down at the 22. It's unfortunate because had that defender gone down after the interception, Iowa could have had a chance at a Hail Mary. You never know. Schroeder hands it off to Rogers, who for some reason didn't want to go all the way left. Seems as if he was a little bit confused on the play call. 2nd and 3. Kind of making up his own play as he went, it seems. But 18 rushes for 92 yards. He's doing very well, about to eclipse 100 yards today. Not even into the 3rd yet. Schroeder back to pass. Blitz coming. Hernandez Jr. Nice catch. up at the first yard line. First down line, I should say. That would be incredible if they launched it from the 33-yard line to the 1-yard line. That'd be spectacular. Schroeder barely above that 50%, 13 of 24 for 108 yards. Schroeder pitches it out. Rogers taken down for about a gain of 5. Second and 5. Incredible enough, not only did Gilligan have another touchdown today, but he had his other consecutive interception this week. That'll mark him up for 2 this year. Rogers, easy money. Up to the 48-yard line. First and 10, my goodness. Gilligan came into this week having only thrown 1 interception all year against Austin, and now he's up 2 interceptions. This Iowa defense forcing 1. And Darius Rogers, as he gets the call, just waiting for that TFL possibly, second and 7, is officially above 100 yards. Anthony Palmer coming in. Darius Rogers, 21 rushes for 109 yards. Schroeder pitches it out. Palmer taken down. That is a TFL. Third and 9 at the 49. Goodness. If I'm Iowa, I just throw it downfield. Hit your best wide receiver down the field. Schroeder back to pass. The blitz coming in. I don't know who that was intended for, but he overthrew his man. Rogers coming back in for Palmer. That'll be the punt team. Power looking to boot this one back inside the 5, and he will coffin punt almost at the 8-yard line. Very close to being inside the 5. Say what you will about this game. Iowa knows how to keep their opponents away from their end zone. As Gilligan back to pass. Nobody available. Almost another interception. Second and 10. This is definitely not the Gilligan we've seen of past. And I dare say this interception, not only yesterday but today, has definitely thrown him off. 13 of 25. Gilligan back to pass again. Going to throw it to Knight, who, about an 8-yard completion. Third and 2 at the 16. I would definitely have to say that these 2 interceptions from Brandon these past 2 weeks is definitely kind of messing with him mentally. As Clark immediately TFL of this defense, giving nothing today. As Galbraith tackle for loss. And I know I've been mispronouncing left and right, but Galbraith, the way you pronounce things, but his name is actually Galbraith. As Chandler evades a tackler, and he's going to make it past the 50-yard line again. Now, if only Iowa could score every time they cross the 50 on a punt return, they would have at least 27 points right now. Schroeder hands it off to Rogers, and he's going to get a gain about 3 yards, maybe 4. Second and 5. Apologies. 5 yards. Even better. At the 42-yard line. Schroeder scanning the defense. He's going to motion a man back inside. No blitz all the time. He's going to throw to Rogers, who's going to make it past the first down. My goodness. That was insane. Tim Schroeder, 14 of 26. Again, barely hovering above that 50% mark as he hands it off to Rogers. Oh my goodness. Broken tackle after broken tackle after broken tackle before Augustine's able to bring him down for a TFL. Second and 11. Schroeder motions the wide receiver inside. He's going to hand it off to Palmer. Ooh. That is Ragsdale with a 3-yard loss tackle. At this point, you have to wonder, is the play calling acceptable? Schroeder back to pass. Blitz coming. Flag down. Incomplete. Offense holding. That'll be 4th and 14. Oof. Not the day for Iowa. If I were Iowa, I would definitely have to look at my play calling. Rushing is good. 100 yards of rushing is good. But when you can't get down the field because you're rushing it on 1st and 2nd down, and you can't seem to get the plays that you need, perhaps you just need to call it and say, hey, look, 2nd and 7, Gilligan back to pass, Edwards. About a gain of 7 there. Speaking of 2nd and 7, it'll be 2nd and 3. 2nd and 7, 2nd and medium, 2nd and short. Maybe you look to pass, right? You don't need 100 rushing yards every game to prove a point. Not that I think what this coach is doing is Clark gets the ball, rushes forward for the 1st down. But in terms of such as OKC's been rushing the ball very well. They've been passing it as much as they can. And they've been doing a lot of short throws, right? They've been replacing the run game with the short pass game. Gilligan back to pass, double blitz coming in. Addison, ooh, looks like he couldn't get his foothold. That could have been an easy 1st down, 2nd and 4. What I would say for Iowa is perhaps they need to look more towards the short passing game in terms of play calling. There's a lot of rushing, but not a lot of points being put up as Gilligan back to pass. Wide open Clark. Just 3 defenders not even knowing what they're doing out there. My goodness. That's a 1st down. Brandon Gilligan slowly moving that percentage back up. 17 of 29 for 234 yards already. Hands off to Clark. Clark stiff arms and gets tackled immediately for a gain of 1. And they'll give them 2, 2nd and 8. Garvin coming in for Clark. Five plays for 35 yards, most of that being passing. Gilligan slowly building back up his rapport with his receivers as he dumps it off to Richardson, who, I think he just barely missed out. No, they give him the 1st down. Incredible play by Richardson. Meanwhile, I believe Clark is back in, as well as Vaught, who is right of Gilligan, motioning Clark out, in fact. Gilligan back to pass, dumps it off. Bad play. Ooh. Tackle for loss. That'll be Rice. Mr. DJ Rice. Haven't heard much from Desmond Terry. He is their elite defensive lineman, and oh my goodness. Andre Knowles with a great TFL. Speaking of defensive linemen, the defensive tackle comes in to handle business. Kasim Garvin taken out for Clark. Gilligan. Edwards, 1st down. What a play. 1st and 10 at the 23. They are knocking at the red zone. Pitch out to Clark, back up to the line of scrimmage. Gilligan motioning the man inside. 2nd and 10. Gilligan back to pass. He's going to launch it. And oh my goodness. Chandler with the interception. Wow. Wow. That is just incredible. Their free safety, Tedrick Chandler, just incredible interception. And Jesus. Meanwhile, their elite wide receiver can't catch for anything, so maybe I shouldn't be saying anything about passing because Fowler's dropped 2 passes now that were just wide open. My goodness. 2nd and 10. Schroeder back to pass. Heavy blitz coming from the outside. Rogers. Gain of 9. 3rd and 1. Schroeder motions the man to the left side. That'll be Fowler as he hands off to Rogers for an easy 1st down. Goodness. to the 25. There is a flag against the defense, a face mask. That'll be 1st and 10 at the Iowa 40 now. Whoa. This may be the momentum Iowa was looking for. Once again, Darius Rogers, 113 rushing yards today. Congratulations. Schroeder motioning out number 34. Schroeder back to pass. Surveying, gonna launch it deep. Penalty. 23 just couldn't bring it in. And holding. Oof. You hate to see it. Just when Iowa looks like they're gonna have all that momentum, an offensive lineman holds. Tim Schroeder, 15 of 29 for 123 yards. Motion the man inside. Schroeder hands it off to Rogers. Rogers going to run for 10 yards. My goodness. 2nd and 9. That is the type of play that you don't expect to see. 1st and 20, you expect a pass, but no, they run it for 11 yards. Any other play, that would have been a 1st down. Schroeder motions for trips right, now moves his receiver to the left. Rogers evades tackle and makes it back up to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 8. Oklahoma City has an injury, number 90, Lunsford, the leg injury not expected. Oh, I'm sorry, expected to return actually. That is Cedric, 1st string defensive tackle. Schroeder back to pass. My goodness. Oh. If there was ever a time for someone to invest in catching, I would say Iowa needs to get their staff together. They need to get a jug machine, and they just need to catch all week. Don't review film. Liz and B tackle to the 20. Don't review film. Don't try to tackle break. Don't do anything actually besides just catching. Although the way the score is this going, they're not going to be able to have any points. So, yeah. Gilligan back to pass, throwing, Knight. Wonderful. However, if Iowa can hold OKC to just 14 points, they at least get 3. They will get 3 points to be able to spend to upgrade their players, to which all 3 of them needs to go into catching immediately. Clark, 1st down, immediately stiff arms, and taken down. 1st and 10 at the 35. Yeah, if I'm Iowa, I would have to heavily invest in a jug machine. That is the first thing every day. Gilligan motions in, Clark to the left. Clark evading, 1st down. Mosh pit over by the 50-yard line. He'll be taken down to the 48-yard line. Sim Garvin coming in for DeMarquez Clark. Gilligan motioning the man inside. Fakes the handoff. Blitz coming. Doesn't matter, but it's swatted down. Number 55. Cameron Galbraith. Yeah, if I have to say one thing, I think the linebackers of Iowa's defense are working overtime today. Hands it off to Clark. Immediately tackled by number 90. And that is Riley, wide receiver, Jay Edwards' leg injury. Ooh. Expected to return, however. But that's Jamal Edwards. That's their number 1 wide receiver option. That is not good for OKC. Garvin, immediate TFL. Andre Knowles. This Iowa defense just letting nothing through today. The punt? Ooh. A little bit too much on there. 1st and 10 with the 20 for Iowa. Schroeder back to pass, scanning. Looking to throw. Fowler wide open. Fowler, oh my goodness. He's outrunning number 20, Listen P, and he's going for the touchdown. Wow. That is why you have an elite wide receiver, ladies and gentlemen. And they're going to go for 2 here. Tie the game. Schroeder surveying. 3 defenders to the right. Here we go. Schroeder back to pass. No pass rush. Throwing it. All right. He threw it away. For what reason, nobody will ever know, actually. I mean, yeah, so take back my comment. I think maybe you should perhaps invest in getting Schroeder a book on what not to do as Clark hurdles a man, immediately taken down. There's about 3 other options you could have done. Thrown into triple coverage, fumbled the ball, I don't know, rushed for a touchdown. I guess throwing the ball away works too. Gilligan back to pass, dumps it off to Clark, immediately tackled, taken down for a gain of 5. Lunsford is returning back from injury. That is good to hear. He will get right back up in that lineup. Gilligan, 2 running backs in the backfield, hands it off to Clark. He's finding room. Ooh, big mosh pit, but they're unable to stop him. Oh, no. Oh, wow. 3rd and inches. Wow. Refs are saying his knee was down in the middle of that mosh pit. That's incredible, but I think this is where they get the first down. Gilligan back to pass, blitz coming. Ooh. And we have an injury. That's Cromwell. That's Eugene Cromwell, leg injury. He'll be back, but goodness, the injury bug is striking today's game pretty hard. Chandler back to receive. Taken down at the 22-yard line. 23. Apologies. Now, this game has certainly been a slugfest, that is for sure. But I at least hope that someone can crack 20 points eventually. Schroeder motions the man to the left, pitches it out to Rogers. Rogers has green all day. Goodness, that's a gain of 8. 2nd and 2. And Jamal Edwards has finally returned for OKC. They could have used him last drive, but hey, that's all right. Schroeder motioning the tight end out. Hike. Back to pass. Surveying's got all day. And again, that should have been defensive pass interference, but the refs won't call it, so they'll label that as a dropped pass or an incompletion. Meanwhile, Tim Schroeder, 16 of 34 for 203 yards. Rogers, TFL. My goodness. They really needed that drive. They really did. Let's see if their punter can do any better. That'll be the end of the 3rd quarter. 14-12. This is the 4th quarter. This is where it all comes down to the wire. Power back to punt. Gonna boot the ball all the way past the 30. Lisenby gets the ball, immediately taken down. 1st and 10 at the 33. This will be an interesting game. Jamal Edwards, their elite wide receiver on the OKC side, is back, but they did lose an offensive lineman. This could be very bad. Gilligan back to pass. Wide open is Clark. He just gets an easy first down. My goodness. It seems that even though Iowa watched film last week and watched how crucial the running back was in the pass game, they still sat back and allowed that to happen. Gilligan, motion the man inside. Back to pass, major blitz, but everybody's picked up. Burrows, and he's taken down for about a gain of 6. Apologies. 7, 2nd and 3 at the 47-yard line. OKC has officially passed the 50-yard line. They are now inside Iowa territory. Gilligan back to pass. The blitz is coming. Oh my. Nice. Touchdown. Whoa. Let's talk about that play, right? A full blitz. Gilligan falling backwards on one foot, launching it. And he catches it in stride. The PAT is good. 21-12. That was an incredible play. I think if you needed any more evidence that Gilligan is quite the mastermind of throwing and accuracy, that's all you need right there. Fowler back to return. Fowler hurdles a man. Ooh, he had green light all in front of him. We could have possibly seen our first kick return touchdown. Schroeder up to the line. Surveying the defense. Gonna hand it off immediately to Rogers, who will get TFL'd by Ragsdale. That was a loss of 1. 2nd and 11 at the 27-yard line. Schroeder, motion the man across. Go! Handing off to Rogers again. Oof. That'll be a gain of 1, but they will call it a TFL for Montgomery, number 29. Ooh, yeah, at this point, if I'm Iowa, it's nice that Darius Rogers has 130 yards of rushing, but you got to pass, man. Of course, when I say to pass, they throw it to Rogers, and he can't catch. He's not even within a yard of the ball. So I suppose the coach knows better. Power punts it off. Lisenbeat gets the ball. He'll be tackled. If OKC can even put up just a field goal this drive, I think that'll be it. That'll be the game. I think Iowa will be unable to drive the field, and OKC might win it, but you never know. Gilligan motions the running back out to the left. Takes the ball. Blitz coming in. Knight catches, but is immediately tackled. A gain of 3. 2nd and 7 at 33. And Eugene Cromwell has returned to the lineup at the left guard position as well. A very integral part in the Axis football game. Clark out to the right. Gilligan back to pass. Surveying's going to launch it deep to Burrows. Unable to come down with it. 3rd and 7. This Iowa fan base not giving up. Even in the 4th quarter, even when down by 9, they still give off immense passion. Gilligan to Clark. Clark evades. Not enough. That'll be a gain of 5. Or more. 4th and 4. Hello, Jay. Punts it. This could be... This could be... That could be in inches. 1st and 10. In their own end zone. This is not looking good for Iowa. This is not where you want to be when you've been TFL'd all game long. So they get the ball. Oh my goodness. 2nd and 9 at the 1. If it wasn't for Rogers' powerful legs, that is a sack. And, well, not a sack, but that's a safety. Schroeder scanning the defense. He's going to put Rogers out there. This will be interesting. No pass rush. He's going to dump it off to Briggs, and he's going to get taken down immediately. 3rd and 5. Yeah, if I had to suggest anything, punt the ball away. Like, they may know more than me, but I'm just saying. Schroeder back to pass. He's going to throw it deep to Hernandez Jr., but not enough. 4th and 1. That'll be a punt. Lisenby back to catch. And he's taken down at the 49. But they'll say the 50, so sure, why not? OKC starting with great field position right now. This could put the game away. Gilligan back to pass. Major blitz coming, but they're picked up. Burrows. And he catches the ball. About a gain of 6. 2nd and 4 at the 44-yard line. At this point, I wouldn't be shocked to see OKC trying to rush it as much as they can. At this point, you just want to end the game if you're OKC. Secure the win. And they do as Clark rushes for at least 10 yards. My goodness. 1st and 10 from 35. 9-yard rush. Iowa's elite defense has only done so much, but the Iowa offense hasn't done really anything. They got lucky on one pass, and that's about it. Gilligan back to pass. Throwing to Richardson, and about a gain of 2.
Go!
Gilligan hands off to Clark. Clark tackled immediately. About a gain of 3. 3rd and 2. Gilligan motions the man inside. Hands off to Clark, who hurdles for the first down. And more. Wow. They'll mark him down for 10. My goodness. Whoa. This could be the end. And DeMarcus Clark, 31 rushes for 129 yards and 123 receiving yards. Garvin, TFL. I'll admit it. I'll say it right here. I'll own up to my mistakes. DeMarcus Clark has put up a better stat line than Sturgill did last week. By all accounts, it seems that Clark might be the better player. Gilligan, back to pass, no rush, all day. Gonna throw, intercepted again. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. All right. Wow, that was Young. Patrick Young, the strong safety. Schroeder, back to pass. A gain of 1. Yeah, the defense works their tail off. The defense comes out and picks off the most accurate quarterback in the league. And the Iowa offense gives them 1 yard. Gotta love it. Schroeder motions the man in. He's going to toss it off to Rogers. Rogers going to get a gain about 3. They'll say 4, 3rd and 5. Yeah, man, in any other game, if Gilligan had this many interceptions in any other game, OKC loses. Because it's Iowa, and Iowa can't seem to get out of their own way. Schroeder back to pass, launches it. Oh! We have our first caught pass. And that was by Adrian Austin, number 25, the fullback. Of all people, the fullback was the first to catch an actual pass today. Rogers gets the handoff. Gonna rush up for about 8 yards, 2nd and 2, 43. 7 minutes remaining. Iowa has to drive fast. This OKC team is not going to get picked off every drive. And they've already put up 21 points. Gilligan's been shown to put points up at will if he needs. Schroeder takes it himself and runs up for the first down. 1st and 10 at the 50. Amazing. Penalty against the offense. False start. You hate to see it. As soon as they get momentum, they falter. Rogers gets the handoff, rushes for, oh my goodness. Never mind, it doesn't even matter. That'll be 1st and, ooh. All right, 2nd and 6. Here we go. They'll take the penalty. Instead of going 1st and 10, they'll take a 2nd and 6, which I don't know about that one, but if they feel confident, we'll see if it pays off. Schroeder back to pass. No blitz. Has all day intercepted by Lane. Oh my goodness. Wow. Just when you thought Iowa could do it. Tyrus Lane's their #1 defensive back and cornerback. Ooh, almost had an interception fest there. Number 55, Cameron Galbraith, almost had it. Brandon Gilligan, an intriguing stat line that we've never seen all year. 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Ooh, And we missed the injury there. For some reason, there was a visual issue, but Rice is out. As Clark is taken down. That's TJ Rice. That's their #1 outside linebacker. In fact, that's their #1 linebacker. That doesn't matter how long he's out for a game or not. That is going to be very impactful. 5 minutes remaining here. OKC is going to punt it out of bounds. 1st and 10 at the 17. Obviously, for those of you who are watching, you will have been able to see the injury. However, once again, we had a visual bug here in the broadcast booth. As Schroeder hands it off to Rogers, and he outruns the entire TFL division out there. Good Lord. 2nd and 1, gain of 9. Until, as I have a voice crack, until Rice is able to return, if he even can return, this Iowa defense is going to be mightily weakened. As Rogers gets the first down, 1st and 10 of the 30. I don't know if I would particularly say that rushing is the proper way to go about this, but Schroeder did throw an interception when they were across the 50, so this makes sense. Anthony Palmer comes in for Darius Rogers. At this point, you almost have to assume as OKC that they're just going to pass the ball when Palmer comes in. Palmer has been TFL'd almost every single time that he's been getting the ball recently. It's Palmer, and he gets the first down. I love it. Way to make me eat my own words. I love it. Darius Rogers comes back in for Anthony Palmer. 1st down, Iowa. This is where it gets interesting. They only have less than 4 minutes to score 9 points. Can they do it? And there's a flag against the offense. Stephen Lee, false start. And for some reason, the clock will continue to run. This is just getting worse. And the clock finally stops, though it should have stopped 9 seconds ago. 3 minutes and 44 seconds. Schroeder up to the line. Gonna hand off to Rogers, who makes a big run for 12, maybe 11 yards. That's 2nd and 6. That's 11 yards. Sorry, that's 9 yards. 1st and 15, 9, 6, that's 15. That's a 9-yard rush somehow. Go! Schroeder back to pass. Blitz by the DBs coming. Austin, the fullback, catches it. Looks like he fell to a 1st down, and he did. 3 minutes are remaining on the clock. Iowa needs to hurry. The only unfortunate part about this is even if they score, they need to onside kick it. And onside kicks have been very, very underwhelming this year. Schroeder with an intriguing stat line, to say the least. 40 passes for less than 250 yards as Rogers falls forward for 9 yards, 2nd and 1. Oof. If I'm Iowa, I just spike the ball every down I get. 1st down, spike it. Run it, pass it, spike it. Just every 1st down, you gotta... Rogers 1st down, some more. Fighting for more. 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Palmer comes in for Rogers. 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. You got less than 2 minutes and 30 seconds, Iowa. You've got to make a move. Here we go. Schroeder motions the man. There is a flag. Palmer gets TFO'd. Offsides. It'll be 1st and 5 at the OKC 13. This is... My goodness. This is getting very intense down the line. 10 plays for 70 yards, 3 minutes and 21 seconds. Not what you'd like to see, but oh well. It's Iowa. You're going to have to deal with it. Schroeder hands it off to Rogers. Rogers shoulders the man off. Tries. He's unable to get it. Iowa shouldn't have called a timeout, but they did. That's something else. They had a 2-minute warning, but sure. Oh my goodness, Darius Rogers, 211 rushing yards. Goodness, coming for that San Antonio record by Guden. Palmer taken down immediately. 2-minute warning. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 1 minute, 59 seconds, 3rd and 3. We have 2 more plays before Iowa turns the ball over. Schroeder, massive blitz coming. He's throwing. Again. If I were the offense, I would be lobbying for defensive pass interference. Iowa will go for a field goal, which makes sense. It's a guaranteed points. This should be the 28 field goal is good. As Vorak scores. And for some reason, Iowa's going to kick it off normally. This is intriguing. But maybe they know something I don't. Clark gets the ball. He's going to run. He's got some daylight. He's tackled at the 25-yard line. 1 minute, 49 seconds remaining. They'll push it up to the 27-yard line for some reason. There we go, Clark. And that's just too easy. Too easy. And that might be the game, folks. I mean, all you had to do was stop the inside rush, and OKC just bolts right for it. Gilligan back to pass. He's going to launch it. My goodness, that's Edwards. Oh, wow. Inside the 20. And Iowa's taking a timeout. And fair enough. I mean, sure, man. They can just kneel it the rest of the time, but all right. And they are. Okay. All right, this was an interesting game. This was interesting to say the least. Iowa's going to fall short of the San Antonio rushing record set by Gooden. OKC is going to fall short of more than 21 points. And Iowa, they're going to have to look themselves in the mirror. They've got some real competition in their division. There is no longer a three-way tie. Iowa has fallen. And they're going to have to hope a miracle happens for them to be able to get back in the playoffs. And that'll do it, folks. 4th and 15. They kneeled it down 3 times. Clock strikes 0. All right. So, the game MVPs, as the crowd is still going on. That's a little bit insane. Crowd MVPs. The crowd will be the MVP, I should say. Offensive MVP is going to go to DeMarquez Clark, the new running back, the new starting running back for OKC. 34 rushes for 142 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the defensive MVP is going to go to Tyrell Augustine, outside linebacker, number 4, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, and 1 forced fumble. As for the quarterbacks, the quarterback battle was a bit interesting. Tim Schroeder was 21 of 42, 50% completion rates, just on the line. 1 touchdown, 1 interception for 231 yards. A little bit over 10 yards per attempt, though that is misleading due to a touchdown ran by Fowler. Meanwhile, Brandon Gilligan, 29 of 47, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, almost 400 yards with 388 passing yards. That is insane. For the game's stats, we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at the offensive MVP for Iowa. And that's going to be Darius Rogers. My bad. I was looking at the Oklahoma City's depth chart for a second. I thought, well, how is Clark on there? Well, it's because I'm looking at the wrong roster. For 41 rushes, he rushed for 211 yards. Defensively, that is going to go to Cameron Galbraith, number 55, inside linebacker, 5 TFLs, 11 tackles, and 2 pass deflections. Overall, I'd say this game was about as you'd expect for an Iowa team. Unfortunately, as mentioned before, it seems like that call is going to be under heavy scrutiny. That penalty call that did not go through, that the league office then reversed, or at least the on-field referees reversed, it's going to be an interesting conversation for Iowa. And if Iowa wins at missing out on the playoffs due to this game, I can almost certainly see someone from Iowa possibly challenging for, well, someone to be fired from this incident. There's absolutely no way that you should be allowed to have such an incident occur, to have such rippling effects. We're going to go ahead and finish up these stats that we're looking at with Tyrell Augustine with the most tackles with 10. I mean, OKC was a tackling machine today. Sacks today were 4, with Sean Westbrook with 2, Tyrell Augustine with 1, and Tony Pickett with 1. Interceptions only 1 by Tyrus Lane, the defensive back. TFLs, it was a TFL day today for OKC. I mean, almost everyone got theirs. Touchdowns, nobody, but deflected passes, there was a handful. Forced fumbles 1 and recovery by Tyrell Augustine. He forced 1 and he recovered his own. Quite incredible. J.R. Lisenby, 6 punt returns. Meanwhile, Jay Edwards and D. Clark each have their own kick returns. Visconti, 0 for 1 on field goal made and attempted. However, he made all his extra points. And Kaloje, well, he had a day. He had the Austin treatment of punts. 12 punts today, 4 inside the 20, and 1 touchback. Now as we head on over to Iowa, so we can see those stats that we've already discussed, as well as these stats here, as Anthony Palmer is actually going to probably get a debuff from averaging less than 3 yards a carry. That's an oof. You can look at the yards over here. I mean, just look at the targets compared to the completions, right? Rogers, 11 targets, 6 receptions. Hernandez, 6 for 4. Fowler, 5 for 2. Just not a catching day for Iowa whatsoever. But Fowler did have the long of 80 yards, so that is something to definitely look back on. Defensively, they had a lot of tackles. I mean, this is, if I had to guess, right, if this defense could just stay on target, they would be the #1 defense in the league. Here's 3 interceptions, all by 3 different individuals. Justin Smith, defensive back. Patrick Young, defensive back. And Dedrick Chandler, defensive back. Tackles for loss, they also had quite a day today. 5, 4, 2, 2, and 1. TDs, none. Deflected passes, they had, it seems to be about 8 today, so they were definitely inside of Gilligan's head for a little bit. No forced fumbles, no recoveries. Derek Chandler, 103 punt return yards. That is ridiculous. Of course, when you return 8 of the 12, you got a high chance of that. Fowler, 4 for 88. Vorak, I'm going to pronounce it as Vorak and not Dorak. This is just a DV there. 3 of 3 for his field goals. 0 extra points, as they never scored a touchdown for some reason. They did, actually, but they didn't go for the extra point. They went for a 2-point conversion. And Power also having the Austin treatment with 13 punts, 6 inside the 20, and 2 touchbacks. Well, all right. That'll do it for today. We shall see how this shakes up the league. I shall be back for another game. Until then, have a wonderful night.